yeah, the sun don't shine when you ain't here. I feel your glow when you get near. Need you now, I need you more than ever. Don't leave me now, don't.
Hello, I hope everybody's doing okay. Let me see here. Today I thought I would come on and talk about DJ Whitt a little and also revisit Caitlin Crum's case. There's been some updates in recent months, so I thought we would go over that. Um, Single Mom True Crime is going to be joining us. It's going to take her a minute to get up here, but she'll be here as well. Caitlin is somebody who she was very close to, and Caitlin's actually where I'm going to start at. So this is one most of you all should already be familiar with. Ignore my background noise. Y'all know I got the littles and the dogs as usual. So, okay, give me just a second here. I'm going to start out. I've got a video for Caitlin that, for anybody who doesn't know her story, it kind of gives you a little bit of background what happened in her case. Single mom, if you can hear me, I've got a message in StreamYard that says that you're on an Android or a Chromebook, which has a bug that causes an echo, so that Google's working to fix it. And it's asking you to wear headphones to avoid an echo or use a different browser. It says that it sent you that message. I don't mind. We can try it anyways, you know. Hi, FarQ. How are you? Your name is tricky. I'm telling you what, I about say something different every time. I'm sorry that you're not feeling well. We had the flu a couple weeks ago and it stuck around, but finally we're all feeling better. So I hope yours passes quickly, whatever has got you feeling down. Being sick is no fun. Single mom, I don't see you back there. I'll let you go. I'll just wait for your thing to come through. I'm going to go ahead and play Caitlin's video, though. This is about a 10-minute video. Let me see here. Oh, there she is. I'll bring single mom up real quick first. Hey, how are you?
Doing good. How about you?
I'm doing great. Well, that message lied. You sound fine.
What was the message?
It said something about that you were on an Android or a Chromebook and that it has a bug that they're fixing right now so that you would have an echo if you didn't have a headphone on, but you sound fine to me.
Well, I mean, I could put some headphones on.
You sound fine. I wouldn't mess with it. We can hear you well. Now, what I was saying, single mom, I'm going to go ahead. Let's see. FarQ's not feeling well. Don't know what's got me. Oh, Lord. Don't say that, FarQ. Okay. What I was going to do, single mom, is I'm going to pull up a video here for Caitlin, just so that anybody who don't know, it's a good overcap of her case. Is that okay? To start
Yeah,
there?
of course. Of course,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Give me just a second to pull up the screen here. This is up. Let's see. Up. Not the right one, but we'll get there. I think I did it last year, so it should be here pretty. Oh, too far back. I apologize for the noise, guys. Well, I guess I better go to videos. I guess a good creator would already have this pulled up before she went live. Okay, there it is. I'm going to go ahead and play this video, guys. And like I said, this is a good recap for Caitlin.
Caitlin Crum was a 20-year-old mother of two. Those who knew her would tell you that her two girls were her entire world. On December 1st, 2021, the Greenville Sun reports that the investigation continues in the death of Caitlin Crum. Greenville police continue an investigation into the death of 20-year-old Caitlin Jada Crum. Crum's body was found on Sunday, November 7th in an abandoned house on West Barton Ridge Road. Police have preliminary autopsy findings. Interviews regarding Crum's whereabouts in the hours and days leading up to her death continue to be conducted, Police Detective Captain Tim Davis said. We've interviewed several people. We're still trying to find one or two people who have had contact with her before, Davis said. A cause of death has not been released pending the availability of full autopsy results, including toxicology tests and a determination if other possible medical conditions existed, Davis said. Do we think toxicology will show something? We think so, but we don't really know, he said. If narcotics were involved, did she do this to herself? Or did someone else do it to her, Davis asked. Full autopsy results may provide some answers. We just have to wait. We don't know if it's a crime. You got time growing on it, and it's harder to solve, he said. It's a tragic situation for her. It's a tragic situation for the family. Crum's car was found about a mile away from the abandoned house in the parking lot of Towering Oaks Baptist Church on Buckingham Road. We still don't know how she got where she was. We don't know how long the car was there, Davis said. She could have dropped it off and walked. That's the problem with these cases. There's more questions than there are answers. Family members reported Crum missing, and authorities were on the lookout for her Sunday afternoon when the sheriff's deputy on patrol stopped at the abandoned house. The deputy saw the location, drove by, and for some reason decided to look inside, and lo and behold, he found her, Davis said. Investigators are trying to determine when Crum died and how long she was in the abandoned house before being found. The last known contact with Crum was at 5:10 a.m. on Friday, November 5th, when a Greenville police officer investigated a report of a car parked for at least 4 hours with its lights on in a lot on Heatherwood Loop in Heatherwood Estates Development. Crum, a passenger, was sleeping, as was the female driver. The driver was taken into custody on an active violation of probation warrant, a police report said. Crum, who gave officers a home address on Mount Pleasant Circle, was not charged. The only thing we can establish 100% is that she was alive in the early hours Friday morning. She was in a car with a friend. That is the last time we can say she was 100% fine, Davis said. Detectives have investigated numerous tips received from the public and followed up on them. We have talked to people who said they had seen her and talked to her, but we haven't been able to establish an exact time frame yet. It's just speculation, Davis said. Some of the tips are fifth and sixth hand, he said. We always welcome reliable information, Davis said. Anyone with information about Caitlin Crum is asked to call Detective Gina Holt at the Greenville Police Department at 423-639-7111. Davis said any charges in connection with Crum's death would only be filed after conferring with District Attorney General Dan E. Armstrong. What we're waiting on is the final autopsy report, he said. Meanwhile, we treat all death investigations as homicides, Davis said. On November 8, 2021, WJHL reported that Greenville, Tennessee, that Greenville police are investigating after a body was found in an abandoned house. The body of Caitlin Crum, 20, of Greene County, was discovered Sunday afternoon on West Barton Ridge Road, according to the Greenville Police Department. The body was sent to the William L. Jenkins Forensic Center for an autopsy. Police are still investigating Crum's cause of death. Crum was the mother of 2 young daughters. Her youngest turned 1-year-old on Monday. Her cousin Sean Crum said Caitlin was like a sister to him. She always loved her kids. I know she's looking down on them, Sean Crum said. It's just hard now to fathom her actually being gone. Sean Crum said family members were notified of Caitlin's death by the Greenville Police Department Sunday night. He said several circumstances in her death stand out to him and other members of the family as suspicious. Greenville police confirmed Caitlin's car was left abandoned at Towering Oaks Baptist Church over a mile away from West Barton Ridge Road. Sean Crum said Caitlin was not known to be around that area of Greenville, and she did not like to walk long distances. He also said it was not like her to enter abandoned houses. Ashley Lynch, the aunt of Caitlin's children, said it was uncommon for Caitlin to go long periods without contacting family. It wasn't like her to disappear and not talk to anybody, Lynch said. Sean Crum said he believes the final time anyone in the family heard from her was Tuesday last week. Crum and Lynch both said they believe Caitlin's body was left by someone in the abandoned house after she died. I don't think for 1 second that she walked there, Sean Crum said. Something happened and she was dumped there. Caitlin's family, now dealing with the loss of a daughter and mother of 2, is looking for closure. When I say I want justice and my family wants justice, if it is the case that her body was dumped like we all believe, we want to know who did it and we want them to pay, Sean Crum said. They tossed her away like trash, and she was much more than that. Anyone with information on the case is asked to contact investigators by phone or email. You can contact Captain Tim Davis at 423-787-6193 or the email on screen. You can contact Lieutenant David Whitt at 423-783-2834 or at the email on screen. And you can contact Miss Gina Holt, who is the detective on this case, at 423-783-2815. Her email is on screen now as well. Caitlin Crum, 20-year-old mother of 2, her whole life ahead of her, taken from this life too soon, disregarded like trash, face down barefoot in an abandoned house. Her family still wants answers. Look at her face. It's a mother, someone's daughter. She was a sister, loved by so many. Her family still wants answers. We all do. We demand justice for Caitlin Crum. Share her face, tell her story, say her name.
Okay, well, that was interesting. So, guys, I think I just about got porn bombed for the first time. Yeah, look at this DC or whatever it was in the back chat, and I didn't even look. I didn't even take a peek, guys. I just let them roll on. That's so funny.
Wow.
But yeah, I know. That's the first time it's ever happened to me. So yeah, I had to announce it, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah. But guys, that's Caitlin's story. As you guys heard, Caitlin was not found in the best of ways, and it was obvious that she just didn't take drugs and overdose on her own because, I mean, trigger warning, but she literally had like dirt impacted in her nose and mouth. So, somebody put her there. They drug her, um, which, as you guys will see, thankfully the case has started to break a little bit, right, single mom? Are you still with me? Oh, lost her. She'll be back up. But at any rate, a man was arrested in Knoxville in regards to her overdose. So when the toxicology report was done, Caitlin did have fentanyl in her system. The cause of death was fentanyl overdose, according to the medical examiner. So keep that in mind. This article that I'm going to read from News 10, it's CBS, states that a man was arrested in Knoxville after a woman's November 2021 death due to an overdose in Greenville. Here, it actually has a video. I'm going to share this screen with you guys. You guys would much rather hear the reporters talk, I'm sure. I would anyways. I haven't seen this one yet. Okay. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Give me just a second here and I'll fix this.
That happened, and that news breaking about this evening out of Greenville, a man indicted in connection to the death of a young woman who died in November of
A very,
2016.
very beautiful soul.
About an hour ago.
10 News reporter Krista Lucas reports on the death of Caitlin Crum and how Greenville police continue working to solve this case.
The Greenville police say they have been working with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation from the beginning for this case. Right now, it's still an ongoing investigation, so they say there are not many things they can reveal yet.
Caitlin Crum was 20 years old when she was found dead at an abandoned home in Greenville. She left 2 children behind. Arabella was 3 years old.
She always says Mommy's her best friend.
Azela turned 1 the day after her mom's body was found.
And it breaks my heart that she loved them so much. And she's missing out on their growing.
She's passionate about getting answers, but Greenville police say they're trying to take their time for good reason.
If we release everything we know, all the particulars about the case, one, it makes it very hard to see the jury if you are able to charge somebody in the district attorney's office can't prosecute them. That doesn't meet our goal of taking care of the victim and getting justice for the victim.
He says lab work takes time.
It can take 4 to 6 months to get those results back and then run them through the CODIS system or the APHIS system for fingerprints.
Cases like Caitlin's often meet challenges.
Liars. We have to interview everybody.
The search for truth can be a long road.
You got to have physical evidence that literally ties somebody to the crime.
But today, Caitlin's family took one step down that path.
Our ultimate goal is to get justice for the victim. It'll bring closure to the family, but we work for the victim.
Captain Davis tells me to charge someone for cases like this one, they have to prove to the DA probable cause, and then they also have to show that that person committed the crime beyond reasonable doubt.
Once again, late this afternoon, we learned 31-year-old Preston Moore is now charged with abuse of a corpse and evidence tampering. Greenville police believe Caitlin died of a drug overdose in November of 2021.
Excuse me. Okay, and then I also just want everyone to keep in mind that Preston isn't the only one that's responsible. There's actually 2 other names that's been dropped quite a bit that I am not going to drop just because I do feel like that they're going to be added to this. And I would never want to do anything to hinder their investigation down there in Greene County. Um, I've talked to Greene County quite a bit when this was all going on before they arrested Preston, and I don't want to say anything bad about them because they were always kind to me. But I will say that there was a couple people down there that was corrupt, which is no longer there. They did an investigation, they got them out. So I'm thinking that's why we finally are seeing an arrest in this and different things, some movement in it, because they got rid of the corruption in there and that was exposed. So now that they're actually taking their cases seriously, which is a great thing. It's great. They're learning. Um, there's also, I have a article from her mother here from back in March. It's the last time I think that her biological mother, spoke out. Single mom calls Caitlin her adopted daughter. I don't think she ever legally adopted her. However, they were close and they had a relationship like that when she lived down in that area. Yeah, it is a very good thing when they get exposed. I wish someone would come to my town and do that. Well, they do periodically, but I wish they would come right now. Okay, so this is her mom speaking out after these charges were made. Let's watch the video. I haven't watched it. I was going to read the article to you, but we'll watch this video.
Grand jury in Greene County has indicted a man in connection with the death of a 20-year-old named Caitlin Crum. According to Greenville police, 32-year-old Preston Moore is facing charges in this case. Tonight, News 5's Kylie Hill spoke with Caitlin Crum's mother, who says she still has many unanswered questions.
A family member shares their concern since the beginning.
I think somebody did this to her, and I think that someone put her body in that house and drove her car to that church and left it.
And now, with a man facing charges in the case, a grieving mother shares with us her emotions.
And I started screaming and crying. And I was like, thank you, God. Thank you, God. I just couldn't believe it. It was like I had anger and happiness and hurt all in one.
The body of 20-year-old Caitlin Crum was found on November 7th, 2021, in an abandoned house in the 200 block of West Barton Ridge Road. Now, more than a year later, 32-year-old Preston Moore is charged with abuse of a corpse, tampering with evidence, and failure to report a death. He was booked on a $70,000 bond.
And his parents probably got money enough. But it don't matter. He's going to go right back in because I'm not stopping.
According to the Greenville Police Department, the investigation
Tell them,
determined that Moore
Mama.
was allegedly with Crum at the time of her death. But Brandy doesn't believe he was the only one involved.
The man that was arrested tonight is the murderer. He did it. The others just helped with the process.
Brandy believes those who provided drugs to her daughter are responsible for her death, along with the disappearances of others in Greene County.
I would be honored to have people in this community to come with me to court or whatnot. But if not, that's okay. I'll still back them for Danielle because she didn't deserve what they did to her either.
She says she's not stopping her mission to help find justice for her daughter.
And I want these charges turned over to first-degree murder or second-degree murder at least. But if I could, I'll go full force for the death penalty all the way.
Kylie Hill reporting.
Yes.
Covering the economy, several mid-state counties are the most expensive places to finance a home in Tennessee. A new
Sorry about that, guys. Single mom, I understand if it's not working for you. if it starts working for you, you've got the link. I've got it pinned at the top there. Just jump on back if you want to. We'd love to hear about Caitlin from somebody firsthand. What I can tell you all is that Caitlin was a very free spirit. Um, she really loved her girls. She loved her family, and Caitlin loved life. Um, I've only spoke with her sister and single mom, and both of them, the way they describe her, I'm sure she was just a hoot to be around. Oh, is he from up the road in Greene County? Got you. Um, I didn't know where Preston was from. Now the other two, so did you guys hear them mention Danielle? There was actually another girl in this area that something similar happened to. But at any rate, luckily they do have Preston arrested. I haven't looked to see where they're at in the legal process yet because I stink at pulling docs from Tennessee. Um, it's just not as easy as other places. But I'm gonna get on that just to see where they're at in that court proceedings or whatever. Because, like I said, I look for there to be a couple more arrests because my theory is that Preston provided the fentanyl, and he also he was the ringleader, but he had help. He definitely had help. Remember, there was someone else in the car when she was seen alive that day, another female, and I also believe there was another male involved as well. Absolutely not single mom. We know that. So let's just fingers crossed that we'll see another arrest. Single mom, was there anything that you wanted to add about Caitlin that maybe I didn't mention? Something you would like people to know about her? Feel free to put it in chat and I'll throw it up on screen. Um, I know you enjoy speaking about her, and I hate it that your service isn't working right now. Yeah, that's her. Her sister. I want to call her. I'm not even going to try to pronounce her name, so I'll just call her Caitlin's sister. She talked about how much Caitlin loved those girls. You know, Caitlin was a very young mom. She was 20 years old. She was a baby. But I guess, man, she really, she really cared for her girls. Really did. Yes, prayers to her family. Really, that's all I have on Caitlin right now. Covered her previously, and that was the update in her case. Um, so if it's okay, I want to switch on. Oh, he's out on a $70,000 bond. So he was able to make the bond. See, I heard that his family had money. I heard they had money. Your signal gets to working out. You'll have to come up here and give us a scoop, girl. But as I was saying, I'd like to go ahead and move on to DJ Whitt, and he's missing out of Pulaski County. Give me just a second here, and I will pull this up. Oh, I gathered links for his. There we go. I start to say they better work. I guess I better share my screen, huh? DJ has been on the news in Kentucky. Did I tell you guys he was missing from Kentucky? I'm not even sure. But he's missing from Pulaski County, Kentucky. And his mom was able to get him on the news early on. And that was before he was a fugitive from justice, which we'll get into how that came to be. But keep an open mind until then. I'm going to keep this as factual as I can, but I'm also going to give you some insight from a local and kind of help you all understand why this is such an urgent situation. So we're going to pull up. This is DJ's mother. And let me tell you, his family, that's exactly the family you would want if you were missing because they haven't stopped. They have been looking everywhere, any time of day, any time of night. Well, if it'll play. May not want to play, guys. I really wanted to. Oh, here we go.
A Southern Kentucky mother is pleading for help finding her 20-year-old son. She says that no one has seen him since September 19th, and she told our Sean Moody she's concerned that he may need help.
Angel Parton says her son, David DJ Whitt, was last.
Give me a second, guys. Let me let it catch up here. I messed up. I don't know that it's going to let us watch this. I don't know what's going on. I'm actually on a Chromebook, so I hope that it's not having issues with StreamYard. Let's see. Let me try to stop sharing it here and see if we can't. Okay. There, it finally loaded. Give me a second and I'll pull it back up. Sorry about this. Y'all know me. I'm not the most tech savvy person on the YouTube streets. Okay, I'm gonna leave him little and see if that helps.
September 19th, and she told our Sean Moody she's concerned that he may need help.
Angel Parton says her son, David DJ Whitt, was last seen along Highway 837 on the Casey-Pulaski County line last Tuesday. She said he'd been acting strangely, and after a run-in with police a couple of weeks ago, she said she was concerned about his mental health. Since someone last saw him on foot last week, she and friends have been searching the hills and fields around the area.
It's already been 6 days now.
Amen, Barq.
I just want to bring him home. At the end of the day, every day I wake up and I come out here and do this. I think today's the day I'm going to bring him home. And then all this nightmare is going to be behind me.
Parton said she's reported Whitt is missing and is hoping someone can give them the information that will bring him home. Sean Moody, LAX 18 News.
We reached out to Kentucky State Police, but have not been given any further information about that case.
Of course they haven't, because nobody wants to talk about DJ's case here in Kentucky. Not any of the officials anyways. There's a lot of us locally and a lot of people around Kentucky and in other states that love to talk about it and they want to know more about it, but you know, it's not the way it's going. Let's see here. I had a timeline pulled up. Let's just I have to tread lightly with this one because I don't want to bash law enforcement, and I don't want to bash DJ because DJ, you know, he's probably having a mental health break. That's probably what happened. Probably something happened with him mental health wise, and he snapped a little bit and he needed help. His mother tried to get him help and was unable to. So keep that in mind as we start going over this. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and let you guys know what the sheriff's office had to say. That's where we'll go next. And when I say the sheriff's office, that's the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office. That's the last law enforcement office that claims to have seen DJ. That's officially September the 30th by Deputy Drury out of Pulaski County. He is the one that supposedly seen DJ last. However, I always like to mention to people that his family last seen him on September the 19th. And that is the last official sighting because, or the welfare check that was called in. That's the last official sighting that his family is confident that it was him. The other ones, there's just no way to be confident that it's DJ. me go ahead and share the screen here. Okay. So this is DJ's mugshot after he was arrested by the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office. Let's keep in mind he's not a big guy. DJ's, I think, around 120 pounds, maybe. So he's not a big little guy at all. But I'm going to read this article to you. Like I said, keep in mind that there's other moving pieces to this that it sounds kind of rough at first, but you guys will understand here a little bit what I'm talking about. It says Sheriff Bobby Jones in the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office is asking the community to be aware of a wanted individual. David J. Whitt, 20, of Casey County, is currently wanted on 3 felony warrants stemming from assaults on law enforcement in Pulaski and Casey counties. On September 19th, Deputy Logan Crabtree responded to North Kentucky 837 on a report of a suspicious juvenile prowling around the neighborhood. Deputy Crabtree located the subject, later identified as Whitt, who fled from him. As a result of the pursuit, Deputy Crabtree suffered a fractured radius to his left arm. Okay, so they had to throw that in there because what they have done is because Deputy Crabtree couldn't run. I mean, Deputy Crabtree fell while he was running and fractured his arm, so it's DJ's fault in the eyes of the law. So that's one of his assaults on the officer. So when you're hearing all of these bad sounding charges, keep in mind that it's most of it's stuff like this, the technicality stuff. So DJ, so far, he has now been, so far up to now, that's his first assault on an officer, was the officer chasing him and falling. Then it goes on to say, previous to this incident on September 17th, 2 Casey County deputies responded to domestic on Parton Ridge Road. Upon arrival, deputies observed Whitt arguing with a male and female adult, striking the female in the face. While deputies were attempting, okay, before I go on there, the female family member, that did happen. But like I said, what I will say is family all agree that DJ was probably going through something mentally and he wasn't acting himself. This female family member is now searching for him. She is not mad at him. This was a one-off for DJ. I don't want people to think that he's, a woman abuser, because he wasn't there just beating on a woman. This is a family member. They were trying to intervene and things got out of hand. So it continues to say, while deputies were attempting to place Whitt under arrest, he began to fight. During the altercation, Whitt was able to gain control of the deputy's taser and use it against him. Whitt was eventually taken into custody and lodged in the Casey County Detention Center for public intoxication, 4th-degree assault, minor injury, resisting arrest, 3rd-degree assault of a police officer, and fleeing and evading. Okay. So that happened, and I don't think a lot of that's being contested. It is what it is. It goes on to say that on September the 30th, the Pulaski County Deputy Daniel Drury responded to Spall Cemetery Road in reference to a status check. Upon arrival, Deputy Drury made contact with Whitt. Pulaski 911 dispatch advised that Whitt had been reported missing by his mother. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. So far on this incident on September the 30th, Deputy Drury called in had a status check. He came in for it, and he said that he made contact with Whitt. How do you all think that he made contact with him? How did he know it was DJ that he was speaking to? How do you guys think? He was very roughed up single mom. Very. He did need help. Now, let's keep in mind, too, his mom initially contacted to report him missing because he had left home delirious. So before any of this transpired, he was reported missing, and his mom was telling him, something's happened. He needs some help. He needs a doctor. He needs the hospital. He doesn't need, this. He's missing. And then all of this transpired. So, in regards to Deputy Drury identifying DJ, I want you guys to keep in mind that his mother has his wallet. He does not have identification on him. Yeah, they definitely need to be tested for their agility, but let me tell you, there ain't nothing fast moving down here in Southern Kentucky. I don't know what they're feeding them boys, but yeah, I don't know that that's really one for the bar. That's cute though. Yeah, they have blamed him for so much stuff too. You guys will see. Okay, so we've established he doesn't have an ID. It was reported that Deputy Drury possibly got his social security number and date of birth. However, DJ's mom has to tell him his social security number still. It's not something he has on him, so how did he tell that? This is why I say keep in mind September the 19th is the last confirmed or confident sighting of him, because this is not a confirmed or confident sighting for any of us because we have no proof that he was there except Deputy Drury saying that a male who he described as somewhat heavier than DJ, gave him a social security number and a date of birth. So, I don't know. If we ever get that body cam footage, I guess we'll know then. Okay, so keep in mind, that's why I say 19th was the last confirmed. 30th is the last official sighting that law enforcement says. Okay, so, and it goes on to say Pulaski 911 dispatch advised that Whitt had been reported missing by his mother but had no warrants against him. So, no warrants against him, and that he'd been reported missing by his mother. As a courtesy to Whitt, Deputy Drury offered him a ride to the sheriff's office where his mother could pick him up. And all, this is another thing when I read that kind of makes me question. Me and my baby had broke down for a second. I had to walk to a Dollar General to use their phone, right? I had to walk across 4 lanes of traffic and cops passing me in the same county. So for them just to offer to take him, I don't see that. I'm not saying it didn't happen. Drury may be a better man than the officers who passed me that day, but I'm just saying that's not yeah, that's not something that's very, I question that because of my experiences. No, nothing. Yeah, yeah. We're all very suspicious. Very suspicious. Um, and then it goes on to say that Whitt was not under arrest or in custody, so he was not placed in cuffs, and Deputy Drury felt no threat from him. During the ride back to the sheriff's office, Deputy Drury kept the sliding partition open so they could communicate with each other. While the deputy was speaking with 911 dispatch on the phone, Whitt came through the partition and began to assault Drury, attempting to disarm him of his duty weapon. Deputy Drury was able to fend off Whitt and deployed his taser, which had little to no effect on Whitt. Whitt fled the scene, ignoring orders to stop. Special response teams were called out to search for Whitt, but he was not located. Okay, let's backtrack a little bit. First thing that we read there that sticks out to me is that they over-explain that he wasn't under arrest, he wasn't in cuffs, and why he wasn't in cuffs. So that tells me that they either broke protocol or they're trying to explain away any questions we have as to, well, how did he get through your sliding partition to get to your weapon if he was in the back of your car? How did he get out of your car if he was in the back of your car? Okay, he jumped through that little square in the middle, and you described him as 150 pounds. So somebody that was 150 pounds jumped through that little square and about disarmed you. You trained Marine. No, I won't go that far. But anyways, you guys see what I'm saying, right? Yeah. And anyways, that's my problem with that whole thing, the jumping through the window and all that. Duh. And then it says that they deployed a taser, which had little to no effect on Whitt. Why aren't they more concerned? This boy, it's not like he has a drug problem or something. So why aren't they concerned that it had little to no effect? And then it said that, he had fled the scene, ignoring orders to stop. And then when it says the special response teams were called out, they brought a drone out to search for him, but they wrecked it that night. And they were sure, to mention in front of family that he would be responsible for restitution on that because, they couldn't operate the drone correctly and wrecked it looking for him. So crazy. It goes on to say that a felony warrant was issued on October 1st for third-degree assault on a police officer, first-degree criminal mischief, second-degree fleeing and evading, and disarming a peace officer. 2 additional felony warrants were issued on October 3rd in Casey County. Whitt is still at large and considered dangerous. If you see Whitt in the community, do not approach him and immediately report it to 911. And that's what we should do if we see him. We should report it to 911. However, I'm not saying call 911 and tell them that you have a wanted fugitive. Call them and tell them that you have somebody that needs a medical attention ASAP because first and foremost, DJ needs medical attention before he has to go and deal with this other stuff. Hopefully whatever went on can be sorted out and they're not going to try to ruin him over something that's out of his control because I do feel like this is out of his control. I mean, at this point, talk to family and everything. I feel like this was out of his control, and I feel like his mother done everything that she could to help him. He did get a hold of one of the officer's tasers in Casey County. But I know that happens. I just hope with this that maybe it will get the officers in Pulaski County better training. And even Casey County, Kentucky, everywhere. They need better training. But here it happens a lot. It seems like a lot of people get wrestled for their tasers here. Like I just pulled up on the Facebook page the other night, I think FARQ, I think when we were on, but I pulled it up and there was another person there, taser. He had struggled to get the taser. So it seems to be an ongoing thing in this area. So I feel like there could be some better training opportunities there. Yeah, brought. Yeah, it's too well written. It makes too much sense the way they wrote it. They explained away everything, and that gets me questioning. But like I said, I guess we kind of have to go by what they're saying right now until we see what happens in the end. But it doesn't look good on their part to me. So since then, his family has been looking for him. There's been a few people reported sightings of him and things of that nature, but nothing substantial, nothing that gets us any closer to finding DJ. Let me find his picture here so I can put it up. And I hate just showing these pictures of him beat up, but I just feel like that's close to what he would have been looking like. I hope that he has found a friend somewhere and they're hiding him out good as crap and that everything's okay. But we all know that what I just read doesn't sound good on the sheriff's office part. Yeah, he's going to be responsible for them falling down because they were in pursuit, and he's going to be responsible for a drone that they were flying to operate to find him and wrecked. He's getting charged for the things that he done and the things that they done, and everything's DJ's fault. It's ridiculous. It's very ridiculous. Um, I know that the family was most recently searching an oil center. Now, I don't think that that's the area of focus, or that is still the area of focus, but I don't know. I don't know. I've quit telling people to go search and things like that, and just let people take up on themselves whatever they do because I don't want to. I don't know where to go from here. There's really nothing, on DJ. What we got's what we got. Um, and then also the other night, or as far as DJ goes, that's really all we have. There's nothing more up to date. We have offered to do a vigil if the family should want to do one. So if any of the families listening and you guys would like to do a vigil to kind of restore some hope in the community and, get people to talking about DJ, get people to asking those questions that we're all asking for that body cam footage that we're asking for, just to get his name in more people's mouths. And also, a visual is a good way to catch the attention of the media, so that would get his face back on the news again. I'm almost fairly certain. I've never seen a visual happen that we've done in any of these cases and it not get a news report. So, if you guys are interested, let me know. I'm local. I would take care of all of it. All you would need to do is show up. So, just let me know if you want that to happen. For those of you that don't know, we do have a Facebook group for DJ, and I'll put the link in the description. I don't have it on me right now, and I don't want to really pull Facebook up on my laptop. Yeah, they definitely, like I said, I hope they use this to get better training, a better training experience. Um, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull up about this Carroll County doe. Does everybody remember the child that was found in Carroll County in the trash can? Trigger warning. With the sleeping bag and the Winnie the Pooh blanket. There has been an update on it. We now know that that is a male child, so give me just a second here. Okay, so those remains were found on September the 6th of 2022. Here it is. Well, that's not what I was looking for. I thought that was NamUs. That's a newspaper. Here, I'm going to go ahead and share this screen with you guys. Hi, Alley Cat. Your message just came through. Hi. Okay. Let's pull this up here. Okay, give me just a sec. Well, guess that wasn't the link. Well, I guess we could here. Give me just a second, guys. I gotta grab a charger. He says he don't, but who knows? Who knows at this point? Okay, so yeah, you're over that way. So Carroll County, Virginia, there was a child found back September 6, 2022. It was partial remains. As you can see here, the date the body was found was September 6, 2022 in Virginia, Carroll County, Virginia to be exact, in the Iron Ridge area, I do believe. The estimated age range for the child is 4 to 7 years old. The estimated PMI, which is the postmortem interval, is 5 years, and it was found in 2022, so that makes 2017 the approximate year of death. And as you see there, that beautiful piece of information, it is a male, so we now know this is a male child between the ages of 4 and 7 that possibly passed in 2017. Doesn't mean he went missing then. That does mean that that's probably when he passed. As far as anything like height, weight, hair color, none of that could be determined because these were partial remains. And also remember that when they found them, they had to send them off to the medical examiner's office in order to identify, because to even identify they were human because they were so badly decomposed. Okay, let's go down here. As you can see that the hair, that there was 1 to 2 inch strands of straight hair, but they could not determine the color. So 1 to 2 inch hair, that's fitting for a boy. Straight hair, that's another detail. So as far as clothing and stuff goes, like I said, he was found with a gray and blue sleeping bag, a white blanket with pink flowers, and Winnie the Pooh fragment of orange pink cloth was near the body. That cloth, some sleuths did sleuth it out, and it was sold in Walmart sometime in the 2000s, I do believe, but it was not area specific. Yeah, he does be lying, single mom. This is the actual picture of the sleeping bag. As you can tell, it had been out in the weather for some time, I'm sure. That is what it would have looked like new. And there's the Winnie the Pooh blanket that they were speaking of. So I thought that was pretty exciting. That was a male. Hopefully they're that much closer to identifying him and that we'll know who that is soon. Um, me and Loves to Lurk, we had talked about who this child could be, and the only two kids that we can think of, and it doesn't even fit exactly to the dates, is Monkey Vaughn and Cody Bigsby. So I don't know. There may be more, but I would think, I bet what'll happen is this will be somebody or a child that's went missing years ago and that they were just deceased since 2017. Because, you know, people take these kids out and do crazy stuff before they ever do anything. Look at Lori Vallow. Right, right. Yeah, do it. And if you come across anybody you think it might be, send them over to me. I'm just curious. You know me, I'm nosy. I want to know who it is. Um, but guys, this is pretty much what I had for the night. I went live in the middle of the night the other night, and I think I'm going to start letting that be a normal thing when I wake up at 2 and 3 a.m. and can't sleep because while chat wasn't that busy, it was nice. It was relaxing. It was a good way just to practice, and I'm trying to get more serious about my channel. So I think I'll start doing that more often. Single mom, was there anything else that you had before we go, or FARQ? FARQ did know about this case because FARQ was in my chat the other night when FARQ is from Australia, single mom. So in my chat, when it was like 3 or something in the morning, it was 7 p.m. over in Australia. So she was catching an afternoon chat. Farkey, what is it in Australia right now? If you're still in here. Yeah, I thought it was nice. I think I'm going to make it, like I said, more of a common thing. Gotcha. What time do you have over there in Australia right now? I'm curious because I'm at here at 7:56 where I am, so I'm closer to the time you were at 12 noon. Wow, you're still got the whole day ahead of you. How exciting. Well, Farq, I hope you have a wonderful day. And single mom, I hope you have a wonderful night. I know that you have some plans that's getting ready to kick off at 8, so I'm going to let you go to that. Um, Farq, if I get up in the middle of the night, maybe I will see you then. If not, it'll happen one day this week because that baby does like to get me up. And thanks everybody for stopping through. If you don't mind, hit the like button, share, um, help get DJ's face out there, Caitlin's story, and this Carroll County Doe story. Help get all them out there, as well as just help me promote my channel because, like I said, trying to get more serious about it. And I would like to grow our community because while it's small, I think we have good people over here. All right. Thank you for coming by. Next time, hopefully you'll have a better signal. Right, right. But hopefully we'll know soon. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and hop off here. I hear the kids in there getting rambunctious, and they have been so good for this hour for me. But I will talk to you guys next time. Thanks for coming by.